double check that the bell is still ringed. Well, hey guys, welcome back to Tactical Review. So today we are going to keep on going through our little mini series on flashlights. And this week we are going to stick with the theme of weapon lights. And this time we are moving to long gun lights. Or in the case of this one, long gun lights. And today we are putting the Streamlight Protac HLX rail mount up against the Olight M2R Pro Warrior. On paper, fairly close competitors. The Streamlight putting out 1,000 lumens. The Warrior putting out a turbo mode 1,800 lumens, but with a standard high run of 750 lumens. So now I was starting to become convinced that this video wasn't going to happen, and maybe even was destined to not happen. I had some crazy technical difficulties with my recording equipment, due in large part to how long this Streamlight ran. So we're going to go ahead and get that video going kind of up in this area right here. There you go. And while that's running, we're going to talk about these two lights. We're going to start with the Streamlight. The Streamlight, again, is 1,000 lumens. How about I look at you guys? 1,000 lumens. Has a rated runtime on 2 CR123 batteries. And once again, I started this test the same way that I started the pistol light test. I gave the Pro Warrior a full charge with its included USB charger, and I put 2 brand new CR123 batteries in the Streamlight. The Streamlight will run, it's a dual fuel option. It will also run off of the 18650 rechargeable lithium ion batteries, and we'll get into that a little bit more here in just a few minutes. I will say, depending on where you live, CR123s can be difficult to find. I had to go all over the small town that's closest to me. Walmart does list them for a 2-pack for about 12 bucks. Not great, not terrible. Walmart was sold out. AutoZone was sold out. My local farm store didn't list them. One of my local farm stores didn't list them, or didn't even have them on shelf. The pharmacy had them, and they thought they wanted $22 for 2 of them. And finally, I found them at another farm store for $7-ish a piece. So that's what I did for you guys. I will say you're going to want to buy these in bulk. And once again, I ran Duracell. For one thing, that's what I could find. For another thing, you do always want to run a quality battery in your weapon lights. And ordinarily, you will find that Surefire and Streamlight batteries are the most highly recommended. Again, we're going to talk about batteries a little bit more here in a few minutes. Anyway, fresh batteries in the Streamlight, a full charge on the Warrior, and that's what you're seeing running up on screen. The Streamlight is rated for 24 hours and 15 minutes of runtime. The Streamlight at 750 lumens is rated for 3 hours and 20 minutes. So big difference in rated runtime, and yeah, that long runtime caused me those technical difficulties. We're not going to get any deeper into that. So what comes with the lights? The 300 blackout pistol does not come with the Streamlight. What you get with the Streamlight is your tape switch, your actual flashlight, and then the integrated rail mount. It's gone. All right, the integrated rail mount. I don't know how well you can see that. And then it does come pre-installed with the standalone tail cap, which is what you're seeing up on screen. There are a couple of Torx screws right here on the body of the rail mount that you could feasibly completely remove that. And then it has two little threaded inserts there, depending on what kind of, if you've got a different light mount. And then that would allow you to use it as something of a pocket light. These aren't exactly one-to-one comparisons here because this is the HLX rail mount, and it is designed, it's right in the name, it's designed as a rail-mounted weapon light. The M2R, on the other hand, well, what it comes with in the main package is a molly pouch, the charger, and the flashlight with the pocket clip on it. So it's kind of designed to be a tactical flashlight. Okay, but it does have this little crenulated bezel on it, which I guess you could use in a tactical manner, but it lends itself to being weapon mounted. And in fact, I purchased a bundle that came with the tail switch, or the tape switch, and a flashlight mount. So we will, and that brings it up to closer to parity with the Streamlight. So no matter how you look at this, these aren't going to be a true one-to-one, but in the scenario that I purchased them for, we can draw some one-to-one comparison. So let me put this guy back together. And we talked about rated battery life. Let's talk about what I actually saw. And I would imagine that up on the screen, you've seen the Warrior Pro give up. It was rated once again for 3 hours and 20 minutes, and I got just a touch more than that, 3 hours and 24 minutes. And the Pro Warrior does, even though it functions very similar to the Valkyrie PL Pro we looked at last week, it does have a removable battery. It is the number on that's a 21700, and well, that's a good segue into batteries. We've talked about this is a removable battery. Your dual fuel options on the Streamlight are removable, one of which is rechargeable. So if you want a second battery for your Olight, just in case you run into the issues like we talked about with the PL Pro, that will give you a battery that you can just swap out and throw in real quick. Those run about $27, and that's the same whether you're looking at Amazon or Olight, and you may be able to find these cells locally, and if so, power to you. The Streamlight runs on the CR123s, which I showed you just a moment ago. Again, locally, you're going to face a wide gamut of prices, anywhere from $5 or $6 a piece to $10 or $12 a piece. And I personally would not pay the upper end of that. That's up to you. Online, you can get a 12-pack. Excuse me. Online, you can get a 12-pack of the Streamlight branded CR123s for about $22. If you want to go with the rechargeables, that's battery number 18650, and the wide range on those. I found a flashlight kit that comes with a few 18650s and a charger for $12, all the way up to some of the more highly rated standalone batteries with no charger for $45. The truth is I think that, as you see still running on screen, I think that the CR123s are definitely your best bet. You can stack those deep. You should be able to store those in your gun safe and just have them ready for a rainy day. So, there you go. Seeing up on screen, once again, somewhere right around in here, thanks to quality editing and some cutting and splicing and video velocity editing, we should be seeing the Streamlight's runtime come to a close. Once again, rated at 24 hours and 15 minutes. And out of those Duracell batteries, I got a whopping 28 hours, 16 seconds. That is more than just a little difference in runtime. So I'll tell you what though, we've talked about what the batteries cost, we've looked at the runtime. Let's head out to the dark of night and take a look at what the throw looks like. Once again, shining the light across the street at the park, well after dark, and take it away, Blair. Alright guys, so once again I do apologize for the poor low light quality of my camera, so hopefully we can rectify this here pretty quickly with some flashlights. So I'm going to start out with the Olight M2R Warrior Pro. This is once again at the setting that I did the runtime test at. This is a 750 lumen flashlight, and so we'll send that guy out there, and if the camera will focus, there we go. So that the tree out there is at about 50 yards. Then back there in the pavilion, you guys can kind of see some detail on that. Is the other side of the pavilion is around 75 yards. And then the telephone pole that you can see there in the background, to the left of that pavilion, that is 100 yards. Now I can see some detail out onto the baseball field just a little bit, probably getting out there towards 125 yards, and that's about the extent of what I'm seeing here with this in 750 lumen mode. Now it does also have an 1800 lumen turbo mode. So, and there's a couple of ways to activate that. You can see it is obviously, well, nearly twice as bright, and it doesn't come through on camera nearly as well as it does in person about how much brighter that is. It does add, if I recall correctly from the specs, it adds about 100 meters to the throw, but it does only last for about 4 minutes. So, and then we have, next is the Streamlight HLX. This is the flashlight that actually usually lives on my home defense light. And again, we'll let that focus. This is 1,000 lumens. And yeah, it does a great job there. Once again, in the background, there to the left of that pavilion. That post is right around 100 yards from where we're standing, and it's not showing up on camera, but I could absolutely positively identify somebody at that 100-yard mark with this. So we'll keep that running, and then we will kick the Olight back on. The Olight does have a much more focused beam. Even though it's 250 lumens less in this configuration, that's the Olight beam that you're seeing moving around there. So there's a lot that goes into the science of light. Oh, hey, how about speaking of light, you don't have any. There's a lot that goes into the science of light. It's not just pure lumens, it also is throw and spill. That is just the HLX. There is the Olight in there. So just looking at lumens of a light does not tell you the whole story. Alright, so once again, that turbo mode that the Olight has definitely can make a big difference, but that only lasts for 4 minutes or so. And so now we need to come up with some conclusions on this, I'd say. And there's a little bit more than what I've talked about here that goes into this. But first, let's start by talking about cost. The rail mount HLX is going to run you around $110 on Amazon. That's where I bought mine. I didn't see any serious warnings about counterfeits or anything like that, so I just purchased from Amazon and I got a name brand, whatever. Obviously, if you're worried about that, you can look at Brownells and Optics Planet and all sorts of the places that you buy firearms and firearms accessories. Again, I just pulled price off of Amazon's just a little while ago, and at time of recording, they were running around $107. I seem to recall that's about what I paid for mine 9 months ago, and it's worth every penny of it. The Olight. Now this is where we come back to, this isn't exactly apples to apples, because the Streamlight is not made to be an EDC light, a pocket light. They do have a USB rechargeable pocket light version of the HLX, and it's not this one. As it comes, the Olight is kind of made to be a pocket light. This is a lot of light to put in your pocket, by the way. I have pocket carried this one time. I would definitely go belt pouch. Obviously, if you're out on patrol or whatever, if you've got molly webbing, I would use the molly pouch. Anyway, but that makes it really hard to compare then, comparing a weapon light to the bare flashlight. So then you have to add the bundle that comes with the rail mount. This rail mount is pretty cool. So it's got little teeth on here. You probably can't see that if I think about it. I'll take a picture and roll that in up on screen. There's little teeth over here on this knob. It spreads out. And this says it will accommodate flashlights with a body diameter of 24.4 millimeters out to 27.4 millimeters. So you could probably even use this with non-Olight. It gives you a nice offset mount. And then with the teeth in here, you don't have to worry about using Loctite. It's going to grip and it's going to hold. It's got rubber grippies in there. All right. And then it has the tape switch here. Comes in a little mount. It's a little nicer in that matter than the tape switch for the Streamlight. You can get Cloud Defensive, makes a nice tape switch mounting thing. It's made to mount on top of the pick rail. Obviously, though, that doesn't do me a lot of good because this pick rail, it doesn't have full pick rail on it for lightness. So my intention was to put this weapon light on my Palmetto State AK-47. I think I mentioned that in the pistol light video because I'm actually going to end up putting the Valkyrie PL Pro on my AK because my plan was we're going to mount this on the gas tube pick rail on my AK, mount that behind it, and ta-da. Well, the problem is this pressure pad by itself takes up all of the pick rail real estate on the AK. So instead, this is going to be going on my Smith & Wesson M&P 15, which has plenty of rail space, and we'll be using the Valkyrie PL Pro on the AK. So, anyway, back to cost. The Olight by itself, and again, I'm going to be speaking in MSRP, which I did not pay nearly MSRP because I did catch this light on a sale. And I'm going to highly recommend that you wait and watch and do the same if you're looking to pick up some Olights, because Olights run sales all the time. The price for just the light, once again, the Streamlight 107, round figures. The price for just the light, just the Olight M2R Pro Warrior, is $110. If you want the bundle so that you can actually use it as a weapon light, you are going to pay, round figures, $150 full retail. Now, I again purchased it at a time when they were running a sale, and I got it for something like 60% off, 40%, I don't remember. It was a pretty big percentage off. Once again, I don't have any special relationship with Olight. I did pay for these lights that I've been reviewing these last few weeks. However, I did catch sales and did not pay full retail. So, what's my pick? Well, part of it depends on what you're wanting. Are you wanting an EDC light? Well, I don't know that I would pick the Olight for that, just because it's quite, depends on what your EDC is. Toolbox light, hey, great. But if you're just wanting a little pocket light, this is awful lot to put in your pocket. Weapon light. Well, weapon light is where we're comparing these. Honestly, I'm still going to pick the Streamlight. There's a couple of reasons for that. One, Olight is still relatively untested. Okay, they're kind of a newer company. They're setting themselves up to be the value alternative. And there's times when that's really okay. But here's the problem. Streamlight is already kind of the value alternative when it comes to flashlights, because the big name in weapon lights is, of course, Surefire. And I don't have any Surefire here because, quite frankly, I can't afford Surefire. So, here's the next problem. We talk quite frequently. Well, I say we talk. I tell you quite frequently. I remind you quite frequently. I deal in sample sizes of 1. All right, I've got one Streamlight here. I've got one Olight here. And here's the other thing, is that I might fire, if I go through 5,000 rounds in a year, it's been a huge year for me. All right, and that's already a bigger year than your average shooter, I would guess, your average American shooter. So I'm not going to necessarily stress the accessories that I review for you guys the way that they need to be stressed if we're going to talk about something that you can trust with your life, right? So I had an opportunity this past week. I was messaging back and forth with Chris Bondi of Regular Guy Training. You've heard me mention Regular Guy Training before. I haven't yet had an opportunity to take any of his classes, but I will say that he's that's one of the first schools that I'm looking at taking classes through. From what I've seen on YouTube, his instruction is awesome. He knows his crap, and it's a very affordable school. He has set it up specifically to be something that regular guys can afford to take and get top-notch training, make sure that we know how to defend ourselves and our families without having to pay exorbitant amount of monies. Because as it is a proper training class, it's already going to cost you a lot in ammunition. Obviously, it's going to take your time. He understands that. That's what he set up his class to do. So, completely unpaid plug for Regular Guy Training. Regardless, I was messaging back and forth with Bondi on Instagram, and I asked him, with what he sees. Okay, he runs a school. A 2-day class is going to run you through 1,400 rounds of ammunition and a weapon. All right, so in a week, he's seeing one person who takes a 4-day or takes a set of classes in a week is going to go through 3,000 rounds in one weapon. And then he's going to see a dozen or however many, a dozen or 20 students in a class every week. So well, you know, now we're talking about 30,000 rounds fired, 45,000 rounds fired in a week is what he's seeing. So he's seeing guys bring in all sorts of different guns, different lights. So I asked him what his opinion of Olight was, because they've had kind of a shady reputation. And what he said is that they're still not shaking that from his observation. And what it really looks like is that the electronics protection from the recoil just isn't there. So what it comes down to, I'm going to mount this on my M&P 15. All right, and I'll keep you guys posted. I wish I could say that, you know, next month I'm running a class with it and really be able to keep you guys posted. I'm not doing that, but it will go on the M&P 15, and it's going to ride there for my range session. So you'll be seeing this on the channel more. But on my bump in the night gun, the Streamlight is staying where it is. So hopefully that helped you guys out. I don't know. Maybe I just rambled too much and lost y'all. Like I said, especially at MSRP, the Streamlight's a no-brainer. Even when you consider the fact, I'll tell you guys, I got the kit here for about $90. And once again, my family's life is easily worth 20 bucks. All right, a $20 difference. Once again, spend money on things that come between you and the ground. Guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you'll give the video a thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you ring that notification bell so you can see when we upload new content. I try to be pretty consistent with getting it premiering on Mondays, but sometimes things happen. Life happens. All right. If you haven't been getting your notifications, double check that the bell is still ringed. Make sure that the bell's still filled in for all notifications. I've had plenty of people tell me that YouTube shuts off their notifications. I've had a couple of subscribers who have had to resubscribe multiple times because YouTube loves gun channels. If you want to help support the channel in a more direct way than just liking and sharing videos, you can do that over on Patreon. Really appreciate my Patreon supporters. You guys help offset the cost of accessories, peripherals, things like batteries, hard drives, camera equipment. You guys are awesome. Any of you guys who are also content creators, you know that a YouTube channel takes an already expensive hobby and makes it more so. So I can't say thank you enough to my channel supporters. Guys, if you're not following the channel over on social media, you should be doing that. You'll get a little bit of, you know, from what I'm reading to some political stuff and memes and things that I found was funny. Kind of behind the scenes pictures as I post the stuff that comes in that I'm going to be putting up on the channel. So make sure to do that up on screen right now. You'll see that over on Facebook and Instagram, and I'll add to that as I add social media platforms if I do. Guys, thanks for watching. Until next time, shoot straight, stay safe.